30% of us that are not on our team. But this is, I'll tell you guys right now, like this is so open to anybody and everybody. And like I think one thing that really stands out from the master classes that we do, or just any event that we do, like I tell you guys every time, like, I don't ever want to do anything just to do things. And I think there's a lot of people that just do things to do things, and you see their rooms empty. And then maybe they got like 5 or 6 people or 10 people that are just kind of there to be there. And then it's like, if you're not putting out good content and you're not getting value from anything, like you kind of start to not show up anymore. And you might be like, you want to make anything, and then you showed up to that, and then like you go to like 2 other things that are not that great, and then you're like, this is weak, and then. So I think for me, like that is always my goal. Is like if we ever do anything, we have anybody come to
Everybody is what it
you know,
is.
from where
Everybody is what it
right?
is.
We all got life, we got business, and other things going on. I think I want to make sure, and I said this last time in our last one, but just walk away with one thing that you can take and add to your business. And so we got someone that literally just came and flew all the way from Hawaii, traveled all the way to come and meet with us. And then we got Armando over here, Solano County, crushing it. So we, you know, these are both of our #1 agents from 2025 in units and volume. And I think that was, you know, one of the things we wanted to kick off with. Like, we wanted to not just always be like team leaders or coaches trying to like bring value to other agents in the same business. I think it's always good for you to hear what other people just like you are doing in their business, so then you can see that it's not just something that we're just talking about to talk. And I think that's super real. It's like there's a lot of coaches and team leads or whatever, brokers, and they haven't actually walked the walk to talk the talk, if that makes sense. Like they're, like it's just like, what are you teaching me? Because you've never done what you're teaching. And so I think like when you have agents come and talk to other agents, it's more relatable. And I think one of the things, it's like, you'll notice like you go to conferences or networking events or whatever, like you'll notice everybody's the same. Like there is nobody that's better than you. Like you'll see somebody that's crushing it with 50 million a year, 100 million a year, and then you see them at the bar at a conference, and you'd be like, man, you're normal. You're not better than me. You're not different than me. And you start to understand that. You start to see that. You're like, man, they're just the difference is execution. That's all it is. It's the systems. And I just saw a post. It was talking about like what makes the difference between someone that does 12 deals a year and 30 deals a year. And you know, people that are doing 12 deals a year, like that takes hustle. We get that, right? Like one deal a month at least, like you're doing a lot. But to get from 12 deals a year to 30 deals a year, now that's systems. And that's like doing things when you don't want to do things. Because you got a goal, you got something in mind, and I think that's, for our team, like we just rolled out a new lead flow, and everybody's so excited about it. Like everybody's just thrilled. Like we just rolled out a new system, and we're gonna flow. But the thing is, it's, for us, like rolling stuff out to our team, or just like, we're looking at it from like, how can we make things as easy as possible in our day-to-day business life, but it's gonna move the needle and not keep us from where we're currently at, doing over and over again. And you know, like the thing is, like you could have a big goal for this year compared to last year, and we hear this from Coach Pipes a lot. It's like if you're doing the same exact thing that you did last year, how are you expect to do more than what you did last year? So you got to keep adapting. You got to keep changing. Like, and you don't know what you want until you reach certain levels. Now, like you know, you could reach a level and finally close 10 deals one year, your first year in real estate. Okay, like that was your goal. Now you're like, oh, I see how this is done. Now I know what I can do. And now I'm not going to do 15, I want to do 20. And I think that's where it's like, okay, if you have that goal in mind, you have to understand also, you have to change up some things that you're doing. And so systems is the biggest thing right now. And like, what's your process? What's your systems? And I want you guys to see, like these dudes are doing 20, 25, 30 homes a year. They did 45 million together just in sales. So I think it's, you know, just hearing from what they do and how they do it is going to be huge. So I don't want to take up too much time talking.
No, keep going, keep going.
Nothing, just learn some of these type of gems. One thing for Armando, before our team, he had 12 a year, 10, 12, 10, 12. He joined our team, had 24.5 last year. So just to kind of show you guys, in regards to Erik, I seen him come to the office each and kept going and going, and last year he closed, what, about 28, give or take, including everything? So, I mean, it works. Listen to what they got to say for sure.
Cool. All right, well, let's start off with Armando. He is ready to attack and talk about yourself. Tell everybody a little bit about you.
Thank you.
A little bit of background of where you're at.
So how's everybody doing today? Good, cool. So my name's Armando, as you can see on the TV here. I don't normally speak to big crowds, but Bill's always so good at putting me on the spot, so I figured, this is kind of when we say we need to put ourselves in uncomfortable positions for growth. I told myself, this is kind of what I had to do. And Bill touched the base on something that was very important. We're all the same here, I'm no better than anybody else in this room. The only difference that separates us a lot from each other is just execution. So who's going to execute, who's going to go out there and get it, who's going to go out and work hard and, get themselves up, right? So with that being said, I've been in this business for 8 years now, going on my 9th year. Hence, this is kind of what I do for a living now. So we're going to go ahead and get started.
Yeah. And talk about how you also have life and it's not just real estate.
Well, yeah, well.
You just have kids, so that's definitely going to reach out to a lot of us.
Yeah, so I'm a father of 2 kids, 1 4-year-old boy and a 4-month-old little girl. And, it's been a blessing, definitely something to kind of have to balance out with my career and stuff, but it's a great experience being a father or being a parent in general. And definitely a learning experience of being able to handle your business and being present as a parent at the same time. It takes a toll, but at the end of the day, it just comes with the territory as well. So, but it's great for those who are parents, of course. So what to focus on in your first client conversation. So for me, at least when I pick up a new client, my go-to is I don't try to sell immediately. This is a people-based business, so I try to get clients in for an in-person, meeting instead of just knocking it out over a call. Because at the end of the day, again, this is a people-based business, so people want to meet, they want to see who you are, they want to have that real life, human connection. So this is how I try to get them to, meet me in person. And something that I like to focus on when I'm meeting with these clients is, again, not selling immediately, but getting to know them, sharing experiences of how long I've been in this business for. Asking questions, listening more, try to talk less when you ask these questions and listen more, so you can listen to the pain points of what it is they're looking for. You'll understand a little bit better as to if their goals are realistic and will they be attainable sooner rather than later. Then you'll be able to pick up on exactly whether you're going to be able to, help them now, or is that a lead that you're just going to have to follow up on a little later, right? Asking the right questions as well. You want to make sure you're asking the right questions because you also want to be respectful of everybody's time, including yourself, right? So we're always prospecting, trying to get clients to meet with, but you also have to understand where are they currently at this moment. Is it going to be somebody that you're going to be investing your time in right now and you're going to be able to help, or you're going to be able to convert them much more sooner rather than later? Is there somebody that's going to be able to, or is it somebody that you're going to have to come up with a game plan, strategize, and give them that game plan so that a couple months from now or the time that you meet, that's when you'll be able to help them. Either or is still a good lead, but one is ready much more sooner than the other one will be, and that's how you'll be able to identify exactly, where you're at with the clients, right? Also, getting them to trust you, talk about yourself. Tell them, kind of like I did with you guys, right? Talk about yourself, give them a little bit of a background. If they have kids, always, start up a conversation like, hey, how old are your kids? Obviously just, don't make it all about real estate all the time, right? Connect with them on a human level because, you're helping them out and this is a big purchase, so it's not always going to be about real estate. right? It's like people say we wear many hats in this business, right? So sometimes you're asking them about, how was work? Are they fresh off of work? Or, how's everything going? Are your kids in sports? Find little things that you can connect with the client so that you can build that trust as well. Because if you're just trying to go for the sale, people can read that stuff, right? So how to stay in touch and build lasting relationships. I prospect a lot. That's just typically what I do. You just will never see me do it in the office. I got my own home office. That's kind of where I feel, I thrive the most, especially because I have kids, right? So I like to spend time with my kids, and, I got all my work and stuff going on. So how I stay, I touch base. I'm always making sure that I'm in front and center, in front of all the leads that I'm getting, because I get them from Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. So I'm always underneath their pictures when they're sharing pictures on Instagram or whatever it is. I'm commenting on their post. I'm posting stuff. I'm reaching out every now and then, trying to not just sell, but providing just information like, hey, rates have dropped, or hey, we have these specific programs that you may be able to take advantage of. And if they're not specifically ready, you can just say, if you know somebody that may be ready within your sphere, of influence, then, send them over, because we have these, programs or whatever it is, right? So any type of value that you can provide when you're following up, it just kind of puts you on top of mind, right? So they may not be ready, but there's times when I call clients that I've touched base like a week or 2 weeks ago that'll thank me for sharing information with them, even if they're not ready. The goal is not to push, but you want to just, when you're going to call, it's better that you add value to that conversation, because otherwise you're just wasting time. Or at least that's how I see it, right? But that's how I stay in touch with a lot of my clients, and I do a lot of email campaigning. I do a lot of DMing, and again, I'm just, under people's posts, just congratulating them, kind of observing what they're going through in their life when they post, so that when I see them again, I have conversations to bring up, like, hey, how was your kid's graduation, or just connection, right? And then strategies for getting your offers accepted. So one thing that I like to do before I submit offers is I'm reaching out to the listing agents just to get a feel and a good understanding for what the status is currently for that specific property. I'm running comps, sharing the comps with my clients, letting them know this is typically where you would need to be. But I'm also staying in touch with the listing agent, trying to build that relationship with the listing agent as well, asking questions, asking where we need to be, what'll get it done. What is the seller expecting? What do they want from us to be able to get this deal in hand? Constantly, it's kind of like when you prospect, you're prospecting your clients and you're bombarding them. I like to bombard the listing agents because I want to know exactly where we need to be. So I'm bugging, hey, where do we need to be? I know you heard from me yesterday, but hey, my client really wants this house, so what do we need to remove? Or all that good stuff, right? Then you relay it over to your client. You give them the proof of what properties are selling for in the area. You're going over them exactly why you need to be here to get your offer accepted. They'll have questions. As long as you can answer those questions that they have, you'll be able to successfully get that offer accepted. But it's mainly just building that relationship with that listing agent that has that property, asking as much questions as you need to do, so that you also have to build that trust factor with the listing agent as well, for them to get the seller to trust that you will be able to get the deal closed on that transaction as well. And then how to compete and stand out from other agents. So how to compete and stand out. So typically what I do is just knowledge based. What do you know that the other agent you're competing against doesn't know? So how I try to stand out, especially if I'm dealing with a lot of buyers, because that's what I do, is I'm reaching out to a bunch of lenders. I'm reaching out and getting to understand exactly what programs they may have that I can relay over to my clients that can help them with any type of assistance, any county grants, or grants you don't have to pay back, all that good stuff that I can relay to my clients. The more you know, the more you grow, right? So some agents don't go that far, I believe, to kind of gain that knowledge to provide to their clients. So when I get on calls with these clients and when I meet, I try to reach out to the lenders so that they can be there. That way you kill one bird with two stones, or two birds with one stone, sorry. So the more questions they have regarding the loan process, you have your preferred lender there already answering them. So you're kind of just, your conversion is just a little bit higher, right? But it's just knowledge base. It's, how much more do you know? How much more ammunition can you add that the next agent is not going to know, that you'll provide to your clients? Because it's the value add that you're providing. Some clients, I've let some clients know that I've gotten from other agents that they felt weren't performing, and it happens. Thank me for relaying information that they did not get from the last agent. So, a lot of that stuff happens. So the more you know, always ask questions, reach out to other agents to see what they're doing, reach out to lenders to see exactly what they got going on, programs and all that good stuff from different counties too, especially if you have multiple clients looking in different cities, because that'll put you up as well. And then I think this is the activities that actually move the needle in your business. So I'm always on social media. One thing that gets my business going is I never fail to show the world that I'm out and active on the field. Whether it's I'm showing a client or I'm at a meeting, I'll record it and I'll post it so people know that I'm actually really out in the field. I mean, you can see my production. I don't really like to show it off so much, but Bill is really good at just putting people on the spotlight here. I never fail to try to be in people's faces. I'm on TikTok, I'm on Instagram, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Instagram, on every platform you could possibly be in, because I've gotten leads from TikTok, I've gotten leads from LinkedIn, I've gotten leads from Instagram. So everybody comes from all these platforms, and we live in a generation where everybody's behind their phone. So, everybody's on Instagram, so that's kind of like the new way, right? So I never fail to show off. And although my marketing may not be as appealing, people still reach out. So imagine if your marketing was, A1, you're definitely going to get a lot of people reaching out to you. So that's typically what gets my business, moving. Is just the marketing, is showing people that I'm actually helping people out. I'm posting just regular posts on Facebook that, hey, I just helped 5 people get approved. That gets a lot of people excited for some reason, like, hey, he's really helping people out. So everything that I do it's nothing special. I'm just doing what I feel I have to do to, survive in this business, which it's helping, right? Let's see. Oh, there it goes. I think that's the last one, right? For me? Cool. All right, cool. Yeah. Cool. Thank you.
Who has questions for Armando? And I think one of the things that he just said too, though, is I might not post things that are attractive to others, but I think what matters is you gotta be you and authentic. I think a lot of people try to be other people, and you gotta just be you and do you and post whatever you want to post, because you're gonna attract the people that like that, and you only want to work with people that like what you post.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Q&A
For Armando, any questions, guys?
I follow you on IG, and I always see you when you leave a comment, you always say Armando gets tips.
Yeah.
Does that actually help?
People see it, I haven't gotten anybody from it, but I never fail to, again, let my presence be known. So I'm just commenting on everything, and I'll put my, Armando/EXP Realty. People like it, people see it. It's just a conversation starter,
Jen?
The questions that I have is regarding systems. So are you heavy on your FUB? And then even with FUB, when you're talking about adding value to your clients, are you mass texting them, or are you,
So
what's your strategy?
I am on FUB, but FUB doesn't allow you to do the mass text messages. So what I do is I email campaign, because it allows you to do the email campaign, just not the text in masses, right? But I do text everybody separately. I have a whole script that I just copy and paste, and I do it every so often to let everybody know, hey, I'm still here. I have a database of probably over 1,000 just of people that I've gotten on social media that I'm prospecting daily. So as far as systems, that's typically what I use. FUB is pretty much has everything that I need, and then you just need your phone. So just FUB phone, like 2 to 3 times a week, just trying to provide value in regards to the I don't touch too much on rates, but programs. Hey, this is what we got going on. Just connecting to see if they may have anybody that is interested in buying or selling. It doesn't have to be them at the time, but just let them know that you're here to help, pretty much, right? So that's typically what I do on my end, yeah. And then cold DMs, so cold DM. And it's much more, sometimes cold DMs, I think it's better than cold calling and getting hung up on or getting told to F off. Because at least you just get left on red, right? You're just like, oh, okay, cool, you know? Mm-hmm. You had a question as well?
Yeah, but first I just wanted to say congratulations,
Thank you.
on, being a dad, just had a new baby.
Thank you.
And then, you're putting in the work. You did make a comment earlier that you're nothing special, but that's not true. I mean, clearly you are very special, your numbers are showing, so you are.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And then my question, I am a brand new agent, so I really appreciate it, and you're just taking in everything that you are saying. So my question for you is, because of the marketing part, I'm also not very active on social media. I'm on social media, but I'm not active in it. I don't post regularly. So for you, like, how many times do you see yourself posting, or like, where are you posting? Because you have LinkedIn, you have TikTok, and all these social media platforms. How do you do that to like generate leads? Like, how many posts do you recommend someone post, a day or a week to help generate that?
Well, I do every day. Every day, because your post, even if you post 2 to 3 times a day, it gets lost because there's just posts that'll get posted over yourself, right? So on Facebook, I'm more on Facebook because I feel like Facebook, that's like my bread and butter. That's where like the clients that I feel are the most serious and want to buy or sell. TikTok is a new one that I've been on, and I post like almost every day. And I've generated at least like 10 leads just last month. Have I converted any of them? Not just yet. So that's something that I'm still working on. Facebook, I generated 6 last week. Still working on them, right? So it's a numbers game, right? So you're not gonna be able to close all of them, but it's just, building that relationship with those leads, posting every day so they'll be like, oh, hey, what's your name? I'm sorry? Aline? Yeah, so you'll post so much, they'll probably like, oh, here comes Aline again, right? So why is she posting so much? But for the people, I always told myself that, yeah, I may post so much, and some people might unfollow me, or they'll get like, annoyed, but it's like the people who are truly invested and are interested in buying will be the ones that reach out, which are the people you want to reach out anyways, right? You don't want to deal with any people that are tire kickers or anything like that. So yeah, I would say you'd have to post every day. It doesn't matter what your marketing looks like. I feel you just got to post. Let them know who you are, what you do. Go out and show houses. People like that stuff. That's kind of like what the new wave is right now. It's just people recording properties. You get inquiries, and then that's how the leads start to come in as well.
So a follow-up question is, you kind of tapped into that a little bit. What are you posting? Are you posting statistics? Like, what are you posting every day?
What's your handle so we can all follow you?
Yeah. So Armando Ochoa on Facebook, Agent Ochoa on Instagram, and then Armando Ochoa on TikTok as well. LinkedIn, Armando Ochoa. I don't think that I have any other platforms, but I think going back to your question is it's not like the statistics that I'm posting. It's that I'm connecting with people, letting people know like, hey, I just connected with 7 families. 7 families get to meet with a lender, get pre-approved, and now they get to start house shopping, which is like the best part. Everybody just, nobody really knows about like the tedious part of like the having to go through a lender and not being pre-approved and all that good stuff, right? But people want to know how active you are and what it is you're doing, how you're helping people. So I'm promoting down payment assistance programs, and that's what people are into. I'm promoting people that I just help close on a home, and then I'm looking for more people. I post stuff like, hey, my goal is helping 50 families this year, and I get a lot of likes, people inquire, all that stuff. So people read that stuff, whether they reach out to you the day of that post or not. Some people save it and then they'll come back and be like, hey, they'll remember, yeah. But you have to consistently post because that's how you're gonna stay in front of people, yeah.
Are you using like a certain business manager or a Hootsuite or anything to?
No, it's just me. It's just me.
Manually?
Yeah, manually. So, and it gets tedious actually because I gotta go out from TikTok to Facebook to Instagram. But I just post the same thing, copy and paste the what I write up, and then I just copy and paste it on everything. I think LinkedIn was the most interesting one because I got a listing from LinkedIn. So that was kind of odd how that happened because I didn't think I would get anything from LinkedIn, but LinkedIn, it's popping too. So, don't not post on one because you think you're not gonna get anything. It's kind of like hit or miss, but you just gotta be consistent with your posting.
So I'm trying to build up the momentum with my social media too. And you said you being on Facebook, so that stood out to me. So I'm gonna get on Facebook a little more. How long do you feel like it took for everything to kind of just accumulate?
It's 8 years, man. I've been in the business for 8 years, so I'm not saying that's how long it's gonna take you,
Like year 5, year 3, what you think?
Year four is when it started to really kick off, because I started taking it serious, started posting more, had more conversations, cold DM. So,
Cold DM, what you mean by that?
so I just have a script and I'm just in people's Facebook DMs, just sending DMs out.
Like past clients or?
No, just random people. Just random people, yeah.
What's the script? I'm super curious, like what your script is.
So it's nothing major. Just me. Hey, my name is Armando. I'm a local Bay Area realtor, and this year I have a goal of helping 100 families out. And if you know of anybody that's looking to buy or sell, I'd love to help, or I'd love to be a resource for them. And but to make it more personal, I put their name on it. So I look on the name and then I post the script on the message and then I put their name on it and then, but you gotta just be careful because then you'll copy and paste and then you'll keep the last person's name on it when you do send a new message. And I've done that before, so you have to just be careful, move a little slower.
It's like a virtual door knocking.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Here's a hack to that. We already have a whole bunch of hand raisers in databases that you guys can literally see who rose their hand a little bit and reach out to them, DM.
Yeah.
Cold DM, it's like a cold, call, but you can literally find a name and search them and start stalking them because they raised their hand, showing interest in buying a home.
Yep. He was first, sorry.
And I think also be careful with that. I think it's like a max of 50 per day until you get like marked as spam or something.
So, yeah, before Facebook started marking them as spam, I was able to get 100 out. But then they started labeling it as spam, so you could only do so many. So I'd say you could probably do like 15 to 20 now before they stop you, because then you can't really send a message anymore.
Have you thought about doing verified? So if you do verified, then they don't spam you out. Only because I do it heavily with my other business, and I can do a few hundred a day. Now
Nice.
I do $15 or whatever it is a month.
I've thought about it, but I haven't gotten there yet to do the verified thing. People say that it's best to do it so that your account doesn't get impacted, or deleted or anything like that. So I should look into doing that. But back then, when things just felt a little bit more normal, I was doing like 100 a day, and people were inquiring. I was getting, hey, my auntie wants to sell her house. Hey, I'm thinking about buying, just not now. And those are people that are in my database today. And those are people I'm email campaigning and all that good stuff. So.
Cool. All right, so let's
Really
oh,
quick,
right.
is your wife
Last
on
one.
Facebook? Only because I'm in a lot of the Solana groups and I
She's
see
there.
your name. I mean, at least twice a week I'm saying, who knows a realtor? And I see your name tagged.
Yeah.
Often.
Who's doing that?
And I'm really excited when I see my name, but I'm like, I've seen your name before, and so.
I tell my wife not to tag me on those because it's just like you got a bunch of realtors just jumping in and tagging everybody's their preferred realtor like, hey, do this. So it's like out of 70 comments, it's like, what are the odds, right? So she does tag me in it, which I truly appreciate, but I tell her it's not really worth it for me because it's like I'm like literally competing in the comments with other agents. It's just like I'd rather cold DM that person. So.
Are you doing any ads or no ads?
No ads. It's just all generic stuff, and it works for me. So I mean, last year I was able to get. Last year I was able to get 24. I could have gotten more, but I slowed down on my game because I had my little girl and wanted to focus on that. But this year definitely want to kind of up that number for sure. But I don't want to take too much of the time because I don't want to take the shine away from Eric.
Her last question,
Yeah.
and then we'll.
Yeah.
So my question was, how are you tracking your leads and how often are you reaching out to warm leads? Are you using any CRM to retain that relationship?
Yeah, follow boss. So I text, call from that CRM. I'm jotting down notes per our conversation. So I save the notes so that when I reach out again, I see where we left off. When I'm sending email campaigns on FUB, they allow you to see who's clicking and who's opening up your email. So then you'll get to see exactly who has the most interest, who's clicking on that email. They don't let you see exactly, anything else but who clicks and who opens that email, but that's more than enough information that you need to keep people engaged, and then for you to reach out and be like, hey, I saw you opened my email. Do you happen to have any questions and all that good stuff? Yeah. Okay.
Thank you,
So
Armando.
yeah.
You did amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
Hey, you look good up there, man.
Thank you.
So I wanted to introduce, well, first and foremost, thank you for Old Republic Home Warranty for sponsoring our breakfast. Everyone enjoyed it? Kristen's not here today, but we have our own burgers. Now, I wanted to introduce the one and only Mr. Pham. So a little bit about him. I know I told you guys some information, but we've really truly seen him grow, right? He was actually, his history, he was a teacher, high school teacher here in Martinez. And he saw a family member that was part of our team. And he was like, wow, I believe you reached out to him. And he told me, he was like, yeah, you can come into one of our classes just like this. And yeah, you can definitely do it. So he got his license and he came full board, left teaching and came on. That's when I started seeing him literally here every single day for like 6 months, got one into contract. And his last name Pham, right? So kind of like family, and he really does take that into all of his clients, right? Pham. He treats everybody like family, beats out the competition by just literally being truly himself. And I'm gonna let him tell you guys more about that. But he's definitely grown a lot with the team. I mean, and he's actually growing his own Pham, right? He's expecting baby girl, when?
End of May. So.
End of May. So, really happy for him. And I'm gonna let you guys hear his story on how he actually wins a competition.
Cool. Thank you, Daisy. Appreciate it. Hey, you guys, can we give it up for Armando one more time? Let's go. Okay. So real quick, as you guys have already heard, I used to be a teacher, and I always love doing this with my students. So if you guys can do me a favor, we're gonna do a quick stretch break. We're gonna stand up. We're gonna give 5 people around us a high five, okay? Just so that we can get our juices going. Here we go. 5 people. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah. Okay. All right, we're back. So, if you guys know, I just came back from Maui for my my baby moon with my wife. I'm still in like Maui mode, so I'm still pretending this is like the water at the beach. But I appreciate you guys being here today. I know I see a lot of new faces. Raise your hand if you guys are new and you haven't been here at the office before. Okay. Raise your hand if this is like your first year being licensed and you're super excited to get started in real estate. Okay. Raise your hand if you guys have been doing real estate for at least 5 years. 10 years? Okay, so 5%. Okay, cool. It's really kind of cool to kind of see the audience in here. My goal for today is really to kind of keep this interactive. I think I can have a lot of stuff, words on the slides, but I really want to get to know you guys and what you guys want to get out of this. So hopefully, after today's presentation, you guys are able to take away at least one to two things. Armando kind of touched upon it a little bit earlier about, we're really not anything better just because it says top producer or beating out the competition. For me personally, I don't see real estate as a competition. I see it as more of a collaboration, right? We're here to really, I think if I see somebody on the team, Daniel wins, I feel like I win too. So the whole goal here is, I want to treat all of you guys as if you guys are my own family, the same way I treat with my clients. And at the end of the day, it's really not about me against Armando or me against this person or trying to be the top of the team. My goal is to really uplift everybody. Hopefully what I do can inspire you to kind of do the same, and it will have that ripple effect on other people around you, okay? So when I started doing real estate, I'm like, wow, there's so many parallels to teaching. And anybody here ever watch Selling Sunset or Ryan Serhant, the New York one? Raise your hand. Don't lie to me. I know you guys all saw that on Netflix. Okay, so everything that we see on HGTV, they glorify a lot of things that, nice mansions, nice cars, luxury, and the money, the pay, the commission looks great. I remind myself when I got into teaching, I know the pay wasn't great. My parents are immigrants, and when I told them, hey, I'm gonna become a teacher, they're like, what? Are you serious? We immigrated over here to the States for you to become a teacher? Such a low paying job. And my parents, they split up, they divorced. And I told my mom, you know what, Mom? I know I can become a dentist, a doctor, lawyer, engineer, whatever you want me to be. But I'm gonna be a teacher because I know that you've been my teacher throughout my life. We've gone through a lot of ups and downs, and I know if I pursue the other things, I can make a lot of money, but that's not what I'm called to do, right? I really wanna make an impact, and you made an impact in my life. You helped me become so resilient, so strong, so relentless. I have 2 younger brothers. I wanna inspire them to know that even if we don't have our dad in the picture, we can still make it, right? And at the time, there was a lot of, obstacles in our way. And for me, my calling was, you know what, I'm gonna prove to myself, not to anybody else, but to myself that I can still do it. And I think going to teaching, I know even though the pay wasn't great, it was the impact. And let me tell you, my first year of teaching was a living nightmare. I taught in Compton, South Central LA, and you have no idea. Those kids are crazy, right? They're living in the hood. I didn't grow up in the hood, but when I thought about that, I was like, yo, this is probably not for me. I almost literally gave up. I think there was like 8 teachers new that year. 4 of them literally quit after 2 months of teaching. And I was like, oh man, I'm gonna be the 5th, right? And then I told my wife, girlfriend at the time, like, I don't know if this is meant for me, right? And I said, you know what, let me just take a step back a little bit, because all of that was like classroom management. These kids literally threw airplanes in the classroom and up on the ceiling. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not even teaching math. I'm just like babysitting. This is crazy. And what I've learned from teaching was these kids need somebody who cared about them, who loved them, who trust in them, because they have a lot of baggage that they carry from home, right? And when they bring it to the classroom, they can't help but release that. And they release it on me, right? And for me, I was really focusing on solving their problems and trying to figure out how can I best help them. But it was until that I needed to take a step back and really realize, you know what? I'm not here to teach them. I'm actually here to learn from them, to get them to really teach me about themselves, their life stories. What can I do to really make sure that I'm really here for them? Because if I'm just teaching them math from day one without really understanding their stories, they're not gonna buy into what I'm doing, right? Because I'm sure they don't get that retention rate of a lot of new teachers come in and out. And for me, I was probably like one of that same statistic. And I wanted to remind myself, you know what, like this stuff was hard, but I'm gonna show up every day, even when it's hard. And the more I showed up, the more I realized, you know what, I got this, right? And I started to realize, hey, one student was finally coming to class on time, doing his or her homework. They were participating. They were actually, being active participants in the class. And through all the 4 years that I taught in LA, it was really cool to see that freshman finally became that first student or first person in their family to graduate. That was the biggest blessing, right? From there, sometimes college wasn't right for them. Maybe they just wanted to get in the workforce, but graduation was such a big deal. And when I see my students graduate, I tell my clients all the time, like when I see you guys get the keys to your new home, it's like seeing my students graduate. That same feeling, that milestone. So every time I close on a transaction, it's like the very first student or first home again that I'm starting out with. And I think real estate for sure, if you guys try to take what you've done with your past job or whatever it is that you experience, hopefully you realize this is a very personal, emotional, relational people business, because at the end of the day, we can try to sell homes like what we see on Selling Sunset. Anybody can do that, right? But only very few can really serve, right? And today, I really want you guys to hone in onto that and thinking about serving. So raise your hand if you guys all like food. Food. Who here is a foodie? Cool. I want you to close your eyes. I want you to think about your favorite restaurant, okay? And I want you to think about a competitor to that favorite restaurant. They both sell the same type of food, same type of product. But there's a reason why you guys come back to that favorite restaurant. Now go ahead and open your eyes and tell me, why do you think you guys keep going back to that one restaurant? The service, right? The experience, right? The moment, the consistency. I love that. So service, experience, consistency, anything else. Right? From the moment that you guys walk in through those doors, the way they greet you, the way they escort you to your table, the way they give you free bread and butter, right? And then they'll check up on you every so often after you guys, or maybe refilling your water from time to time. I know my brother Billy right here, Original Joe's. So tell me, Billy, when you get tip, a really good tip, do you think it's based on the types of drinks you make or based on the conversation that you have? The connection that you have, right? And so hopefully you're able to understand that the product can both be the same. We can both sell houses, but only one of us can give the best experience, right? And if you give them that best experience, guess what? They're gonna go ahead and tell somebody else about that experience. And from there, you keep on creating this web of referrals and people who really trust in you because you know that there's a reason why I'm coming back to that restaurant, okay? All right, I want my man, Kyrell, can you go ahead and read out the quote down here for me?
I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel.
Maya Angelou. Raise your hand if you guys have seen this quote before. Yeah, it's my favorite, you guys. So every time I teach a classroom, I love to put a quote on here just because it kind of gives a theme for what I'm about to share. So stop selling and start serving. Here we go. So buying a home is a big investment. It is also an emotional investment, okay? All right, so the question every client is asking, why should I choose you as my agent? So if I ask Kyrell, why should I choose you as my agent? What would you say to me? Sorry, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but yeah, so it's gonna take some time, right? And it's okay, because I think when we're starting out in real estate, we're gonna really need to dive into that question because there's a lot of us. I think, Bill, can you share with us, I think there's how many agents or join each year and how many of them do quit? What's the stats on that typically?
2 out of 10 make it.
2 out of 10 make it, right? 20%. That's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy, right? This question right here really hit me a lot too. When I first joined, I'm like, how am I supposed to answer this question? And it's gonna take a lot of internal thinking. So if you have a notebook, or if you have a phone and you wanna just go and put this question down onto your phone, or maybe put it as your wallpaper, just to remind yourself, like, why am I even doing this? Like, why am I in real estate? Why should I choose you as my agent, right? If you can't answer this question, you're most likely going to fail. And the reason why I'll say that is because there's 4 things on here that I really want to hone in on, is because speed, personality, commission, and convenience, right? The first person to respond. So let's say there's a client that texts or reached out to both me and Armando, right? If Armando's the first one to respond back, all right, because he's available, right, they're going to go ahead and have their attention on him. Personality, let's say they both interview me and Armando, right? They're also going to test our personalities. Who do they both kind of click with? Commission, whoever charges the least, right? If we are the seller and we're trying to sell our house, right? We always want to save a lot of money, get the most back, right? We also have the objection, right? What's your commission? How much do you charge? And then convenience, who's easiest to reach, right? And that's why it's going back to speed too. If you're the fast to respond and you're quick, you're always on top of your thing, they're most likely gonna work with you. So before you answer any of those questions, your goal is to clearly communicate your value before any of this matters. So again, going back to the question, why should I choose you as my agent? You really want to internally focus within yourself before you make that cold calling, right? Sometimes we focus on calling so much, outreaching to people, that we forget our internal calling. Why are we doing this? Like, what's the purpose of it, all right? And I go back to myself, like, you know, my purpose is to serve people. I could care less about if it's a mobile home or if it's a $1 million house, right? No matter where people are in their state of life or transition, I want to make sure that I give them my best, because if I give them my best, I know that the rewards will follow through, okay? All right, what is a value proposition? Daniel, can I have you read out the definition?
Value proposition is a clear statement that explains why someone should choose you over every other option available to them.
Thank you. And there's 4 things, right? What you offer, right? Your specific service or expertise. Maybe you really work with a lot of investors, right? You're so good with being able to find off-market properties, fix and flips. That's the service that you offer. Or maybe you like working with first-time home buyers. Raise your hand if you like working with first-time home buyers. I do too, right? It's cool because like they're kind of like, you know, in that curiosity stage. They want to know more. They want to learn. And when you're able to teach it to them, it's like the best thing ever. It's like that they have that aha moment, right? And so you can be a first-time home buyer specialist, or maybe you love just focusing on reselling homes or relocation, right? Think about what can you offer? What's your gift? What is something that makes you special or that you can give back to people, right? And then what problem do you solve? These 2 are kind of like the same thing, right? Maybe the problem that you're trying to solve is to help people, let's say now that rates are dropping, right? inventory is picking up, maybe you're helping them try to find off-market listings or coming soon listings, right? That way they can actually get in the door before it hits the market. Or maybe the pain point is right now, you notice a lot of buyers right now, they don't understand what it's like to save money for a down payment. Maybe you can help them educate them on that. Or maybe they don't need 20% down payment. That's just a myth. They only need at least 3 or 3.5, right? Depending on how you kind of go about it. So you really want to hone in on what is that problem that I'm helping trying to solve for people. And who is it for? Your target client? Again, it can be investors, it can be first-time home buyers, right? And then why are you different, okay? What sets you apart from every other agent? So in other words, your value proposition is the unique value or advantage you bring to a client that no one else can replicate. So Armando's special, I'm special, you guys are all special, you guys are all unique. There's only one of you and one of me, right? But I want you guys to think about it and tap into that part because that part is your value proposition. But if you don't know that part yet, that's okay. You still have time, all right? Think about it after the class today, maybe on the drive home, right? Don't play any music, play any podcasts. Just kind of like let it simmer in and think about why are you here on this planet right now? What are you doing to give back to people? And when you kind of start to internally reflect, you'll be able to kind of plant that seed. Oh, I realize what my purpose is. I know what my value is. Now I can go ahead and bring that to light. And that's the reason why I'm going to choose you as my realtor because you have that something to give that nobody else does, right? Okay. All right. So if somebody were to ask me, hey, Eric, why should I choose you as my agent? Well, I would tell them, hey, a lot of realtors out there, all they focus on is selling homes. For me, I could care less about that. I care about you, Kyrell. I want to focus on serving you because, you're my family. I want to take care of you as if you're my client. I want to make sure that by the time we close on your home, I'm going to be there with you every step of the way. I want to make sure that there's no surprises and that you feel really confident because a lot of people out there, they want you to help you find your dream home. You can do that on Zillow, Redfin, right? You can go online and tell me what your dream home looks like, but I could care less. I want you to feel confident because if you feel confident in your ability to purchase this first home, you can feel confident in me. I got you, right? And then the last part, I'm in real estate to make money. So it goes back to teaching again. I'm not in about it for the money. Commission's great. The ceiling can always be high. It depends on what you put in it is what you get. But I'm here to make a difference. And I know that if I'm here to make a difference in people's lives, right, this right here will come, right? That's the reward. But again, you might be $10,000 richer today, $20,000 richer tomorrow, but all of that will come and go. But what does stay is your purpose, your why, your drive. And I'm very fortunate that this come July, it's going to be my 3 years in real estate, and so much can change in that amount of time. I think I had a question earlier too was like, at what point did you feel like you kind of hit that peak or whatever, right? And I think there's really no peak. If anything, I feel like I'm always learning, every day. As I'm teaching you guys up here too, I'm also listening to myself, the things I'm saying. And I think the best thing about being in real estate too is that we have a community of people that we can talk to. I always go back, I would talk to Daniel because when I first joined the team, I just love his charisma, the way he goes about putting his videos on social media. I just feel like I have this connection with him, even though I don't know him yet. So I would talk to him here at the office and kind of get to know him and, hey, what really gets you going, right? And the more you interview other agents on this team that are killing it or that you feel like you aspire to be, talk to them. Take a few things, works well with them, maybe put it into your toolbox, try it out, see if it works out for you. If it doesn't, that's okay, but hopefully you'll be able to find your voice because at the end of the day, the goal is to not be like Daniel or be like Ed or be like Armando. The goal is to be the best version of yourself, right? And if you can, you'll start realizing, you know what, I'm not here to sell you any more homes. Like I take the word buy and sell actually out of my vocabulary. I don't even tell, hey, if you're thinking about buying or selling, DM me. Now, if you're thinking about making a move, let me know. Making a move is more transitional. Buying or selling is more transactional, right? It has that dollar sign on top of your head. My goal is to help you move into that next chapter of your life, right? So forget about chasing people, chasing transactions. If you start serving, you're gonna start creating trust, right? If I know that Kyrell can trust me, I know that if he has a family member in the future that's ready to make a move, he's gonna go ahead and hopefully keep me on top of mind, right? And that's the goal. And I know that behind every web of one person, there's gonna be so much more people that can make an impact. So as much as it is a numbers game, it's also important to realize it's also the quality of the connection that you have with people. Because if you can make that quality connection there, right, you're not just meeting new people every day, you're also meeting people that are new because of the people that you've actually helped. And hopefully that keeps going on. And I think, I've started getting some referrals from after my first full years because I'm like, wow, this is actually working. I'm like, okay, I want to continue to build that momentum going on because I know that if I can help one people feel like they can trust in me, I know that I can continue to see the confidence in my ability to know that I can make so much an impact in other people too. And it really starts with just, focusing on, I'm not here to sell anybody. I'm just here to serve you, okay? All right, so what I want you guys to do is these next few slides, if you can go ahead and take out your phone, this would be very helpful. I feel like there's a lot of things I can share with you guys, but these scripts right here have been a huge game changer, especially when you guys are focusing on booking the appointment, to giving them the tour, to even after the appointment. And I'm pretty much gonna give you guys a blueprint. You can go ahead and remix it the way you want, but I'm going to share with you guys real quick on what I do when I speak with somebody on the phone, okay? So if I'm on the call with Armando, hey Armando, this is Eric with eXp Realty. I saw that you were looking at a property on 123 Main Street in Hercules. What day and time works best for you to tour this property, right? I didn't ask, hey, how are you doing? How's it going? How's life, right? I just went right into the kill and say, hey, what day and time works best for you to tour this property? Because I know that that short amount of time that I have with them on the phone, their goal is when they're clicking on, hey, I want to tour this property on 123 Main Street, all right, we just want to confirm that tour. Some people, raise your hand if you guys have been on the phone with a client and you can kind of tell maybe they're working or they have a quick lunch break and they want to get off the phone, but you kind of like kept them on for a while. And it's like, I don't know if I made a good first impression, right? So the goal is to really set that appointment. If you feel like they can keep talking, like me, I can keep talking forever, right? You can keep asking the other questions too to better understand what they're looking for, right? So let's say if this person wants to keep talking with, hey, were there any other homes you'd like to see while we're out there together? You don't want to show them just one home. You want to show them multiple homes too. The more time that we have together, the more time I can get to know you, right? Just so I can better understand what you're looking for, what stood out to you about this particular home? What's the price point you're looking to stay under? Lastly, do you have a timeline as to when you'd like to find a place by? Perfect. Thank you so much for sharing. This is very helpful. I am super excited to meet with you. After our call, I'll also send you a text confirmation and a Google Calendar invite. Have a blessed day, and I look forward to seeing you this Saturday at 10 a.m. All right, so that's the initial call. After I call, give myself a good 2-3 minutes, okay? I'm gonna send a text confirmation to Armando. Hey Armando, this is Eric with eXp Realty. It was a pleasure speaking with you. We are confirmed for our property tour, 123 Main Street in Hercules this Saturday at 10 a.m. Have a blessed day, and I look forward to meeting you then. And then I'm also gonna include a picture of my business card too. That way they can put a name to my face, right? I don't know about you guys, but every time I go on a tour, before I go on a tour with my client, I tell my mentees or partner agents, like, I stalk my clients. Anybody here ever stalk their clients before they go on tour? Like, I want to make sure, like, they're legit, right? Sometimes I know for ladies too, like, this is a risky, like, career, right? We need to make sure that we're safe, right? Sometimes, I don't know if this is like a real person. Maybe sometimes they might feel like they're AI eventually, right? So we want to make sure that who we go out and who we're about to serve, like, they actually have some meat in their game, right? And so sometimes I'll look them up on Facebook, Google, whatever, and kind of see, okay, I want to make sure this is the right person that I'm about to show. But same thing with us, right? As realtors, we want to give a picture to the face, and they can look us up on Zillow and see we have experience, right? They can look up us up on our website, whatever it is. But this also makes it feel like we're dropping our guard, our wall down, because we actually can kind of introduce ourselves with a picture. All right. After you send that text confirmation, this is so important. I think on FUB, we automatically have this too, but I like to do it for myself. I would put on Google Calendar, the home tour would be my title, and then parentheses, the address, 123 Main Street. I will put the scheduled time, so if I made an appointment with Armando for this Saturday, 10 a.m., great, and then I would email that to my client, right? So again, if I see them accept it, I'm like, okay, it's happening, right? They're excited, they're ready to go. And then the day before the tour, I'm gonna ask you guys this question. Why is it important, do you think, I'm gonna send one more follow-up just before we tour the property? So if I'm touring with him on Saturday, I'm gonna send one more text on Friday, just so that I can avoid what?
You gotta value your time. You wanna make sure they don't miss the appointment.
Exactly, right? Our time is so valuable. Raise your hand if you've ever been flaked before. Like, yeah, me too. I still get flaked even after this, right? Maybe something happened, maybe on the day of too. car accident, family emergency, right? Things do happen too. And if those things do happen, like, hey, I hope everything's okay. You know, I'm sorry that we couldn't make it to our appointment today. What day or time works best for you to reschedule, right? But this is important. This is to avoid the flaking, right? Because there's a lot of people out there that do flake, and that's just going to be a part of it. But it's how you pick yourself back up and keep moving forward, right? Because we're going to keep showing homes, but we want to try to avoid and minimize as much of the flakiness as possible. I would say, hey, Armando, this is Eric with eXp Realty, just confirming. Are we still on for tomorrow at 10 a.m.? Yes, we are. Great, thanks for confirming. Looking forward to meeting you tomorrow, okay? All right, now the day. Oh, yeah.
When you follow the leaf flow.
Yeah, cool.
Google Calendar invites are created, text reminders, email reminders, all that stuff. So.
Yeah. So the day of the home tour, this is so important. You made your first impression over the phone, you're excited, give that energy, and then this right here is like the main audition right here, right? When the moment I see Armando coming out of his car, I'm outside of the property. I'm not inside, I'm outside. I want to really give them that experience at that restaurant, right? The way I greet them, like, hey, happy Saturday, glad you guys made it here safely. Where'd you guys come from, right? Walk them in, escort, let them go in first, right? And then my favorite question during the home tour too is, what inspired you to look in this area? And the reason why I love this question so much is because they're going to give me one of 4 answers. Either because it's close to their work, schools, affordability, safety, lifestyle, right? And this question right here it's able to help me ask some more follow-up questions. It's less about the home, it's actually more about them as people, right? If they're trying to move closer to work, I'm like, hey, what do you do for work? Or what do you do for a living? Nice, how far is your current commute right now, right? And the more I get to know them, the more I'm able to see them more as a personal level, right? Like, they're not just a client anymore, they're just people, and understand their motivation, their reason, their why. The more you understand their why, right, you can kind of use that why, your purpose, kind of find that marriage in between and really, hopefully, win that connection, right? Let's say schools, education. I realized I don't have a C there. But education, how many kids do you have, right? Yeah, how many kids do you have? Oh, you got 2, that's so cool. I'm actually expecting my firstborn. Yeah, what grade are your kids in, right? Oh, 6 and 7, cool, 6th and 7th grade, nice. And do they currently like middle school, are they homeschooled, right? The more you get to know them, like, oh, okay, cool, I used to be a teacher, right? I love this question too, because I can kind of hone in my teaching again. I let them know, hey, I know the schools around here are so important in Brentwood, right? They're the best Heritage High School. I have some family members that have their kids that went to Heritage High. They're great. So I think you guys are looking in a really good area, right? Sometimes maybe they're moving or looking this home because it's the affordability, it's the value, right? Maybe it's because that's how much they can afford. So that's a great question to follow up. Hey, what's the price point that you're looking to stay under? All right, maybe you didn't ask that question over the phone, but you can ask that now. I really treat my home tours as if it's my buyer's consultation too at the same time. I think oftentimes when we think about buyer's consultation, we think about Zoom meeting, coffee shop, find a place, sit down, talk to people. I kind of don't like doing that too much. I like to move with people because the more we move and interact with them, we can actually learn so much about them through each and every home. That's why I don't show just one home. I show 2 or 3 at least. That way by the end of the 3rd home, I felt like we've kind of known each other for a while, right? We've kind of bonded. We've kind of like get a good idea as far as you know what they're looking for in a house, but you also know who they are as a person. And then I'm also taking mental notes too, by the way, that whatever they do or if they have kids, let's say we do close on that home, I know what kind of closing gifts I'm going to give them too because they have kids, right? I want to make sure to give the kids something. Or if they work in a field where I'm like, oh, this would be a perfect gift for that, right? So that's one way to do it. And then safety and lifestyle. Hey, I want to live close by the waterfront. Cool. Did you guys grow up in the area? Oh, no, we didn't. But, you know, where we live right now, it's a little bit congested. It's a little bit tight. We want something a little bit more open. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Like I used to live here in Hercules. My wife and I, we just moved to Concord. And the Bayfront Trail, it is amazing. You guys can watch the sunset over here, right? And then you start to kind of build that trust. Like, oh, wow, you've had that experience living in Hercules at one point. Now you can kind of talk more about that too. Even after the showing too, I'm like, hey, yeah, if you guys ever want to tour around the property, what I do recommend to all my clients is that you're not just buying the home, you're buying the community, you're buying the neighborhood. So I totally recommend, hey, if you guys have some time after this, go ahead and make a drive around the area and see what you guys think. Because I know you mentioned that you have kids, you have pets. I want to make sure that this is a safe neighborhood for you, yeah? And if you want to come back another time just to get a second look, I'm here for you guys. I got you, okay? I saw a hand earlier, by the way.
I was just curious.
Yeah.
Is it typically more like your Zillow script? Because I noticed you're asking about affordability. Typically, I know very,
Yeah.
where's your pre-approval, where are we at in game, oh, there's a lender,
Sure.
before I'm opening the doors to
Yeah,
But I'm
yeah.
just curious, is I don't know what EXP does.
Yeah, it really,
What's normal for you?
no, that's a great question. I think it really, there's some people who on Zillow, like, hey, they're looking at a price point, let's say 500,000. And then next thing you know, they're like, you know what, I'm actually open to something higher because maybe they got a second opinion from another lender. So it kind of varies, but if they do know, if I kind of know that price point from the call, all right, then I don't really have to ask that question. I would ask, hey, you know, would you guys, I know that your current rent, wherever you're renting right now, it's like $3,000 per month. Would you guys be open to paying that additional HOA fee? Because I know numbers, you know, it really can have a range, and we kind of want to understand what's their threshold, right? How far? Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, 'cause I know you guys do a lot.
Yeah.
Is that normal not to know before you open the door if they're even pre-approved? Like, do you normally
Yeah, I treat it as if like I don't know if they're pre-approved or not. I'm still going to show them the home to understand if, and believe it or not, there's so many clients I've shown where they don't even know what pre-approval means. They don't even know what their budget is, and we've seen like, let's say $1 million home, but they can only afford a 500,000. And that's okay. Hopefully, at least within that $1 million home, I can see, oh, they love an open concept type of home. They need something with a big yard because they have pets, right? So I kind of know their style of the home that they're looking for, even if it's not that home, but at least I was able to kind of understand, okay, the price point, we might need to look a little bit elsewhere. But yeah, that's a great question. Cool. All right, after the tour, this is important, you guys. So you made a great first impression on the phone, to greeting them at the home tour. The follow-up, there's this line, I follow this guy in San Diego or Costa Mesa. His name is Kevin Sturdivant, and he said, the fortune is in the follow-up, okay? I'm like, what does that mean? The fortune is in the follow-up. So it's what you do after the tour, right? We want to make sure that we connect with them still. It's not like, hey, that tour, that was our audition, that's it. The audition still continues, right? So after the tour, if I know that client is fully pre-approved and considering submitting an offer, my script kind of goes like, hey, Armando, it was a blessing meeting you and your family today. Hope you arrived home safely. I just emailed you the disclosures and comps for 123 Main Street. Feel free to look over when you get a chance and let me know if you have any questions. Happy to help, okay? I want to emphasize meeting you and your family. It's very important that you remember names too. I think if you meet a husband, wife, and kids, make sure you know all of their names. I think it's great when I partner with agents on the team because at least I know the wife's name, husband, and then the kid's name, and literally after they kind of roam around, I'm on my phone like, all right, this is Armando, this is his wife's name, kid's name, okay. Because I'm gonna have to go back on FUB or my notes to make sure that I get their names down because names are so important. The next time you see them and you remember them by their names, just think about how important that is to them. Like, wow, I feel seen, I feel value, right? I know on the first day of school when I'm teaching my students, like names are hella hard. I have 30 kids to memorize, but I'll try to make a goal to remember at least the front row, right? They'll have their name cards out. Okay, I got all of these troublemakers right here, okay? So I wanna make sure that names are so important because at the end of the day, we don't know if they're gonna be seeing another realtor after that tour. We wanna make sure that, again, we stand out because we actually thought about them, okay? All right, so again, this is the script for if a client's pre-approved or considering submitting an offer. Now, if a client doesn't have a lender and would like to get pre-approved, my favorite thing to do is set up a 3-way group chat, okay? The reason why I'm doing that is because I'm not gonna wait for them to connect with a lender. I'm actually gonna go ahead and initiate that intro text to make them feel like, you know what? You know, I'm going above and beyond, going the extra mile for them. So, hey Armando, it was a blessing meeting your family today. Hope you arrived home safely. I've included my partner lender, Grace Davis, in this group text. She is one of the best lenders out there and will be available to assist you with any financing questions you may have, as well as getting you pre-approved. You're in great hands, right? And then Grace, she would kind of give her intro. Hey, thanks for connecting us, Eric. Hey, Armando, this is Grace Davis. She'll also put her business card. You know, I'm super excited to meet with you. When's a good time to go over Zoom, meet in person? And then I'm also gonna be there too if I can, right? Just that way I can understand what their finances look like because you did your part, you show the homes. Let's kind of get a feel for what they're pre-approved. And if they're not ready within the next month or two, it's okay. At least we gave them a good, solid game plan, and now we know that we can nurture them till when the time is ready. But now we kind of hooked them up with a lender, and they understand the process. Yeah, Mona?
When do you present, which stage do you present the buyers that are in the BRC and without scaring them as a contract?
Sorry, can you repeat your question a little bit louder? Oh, the BRBC. Okay, that's a very, so BRBC, okay, I'm gonna be real with you guys. I don't do the BRBC right when I see them before they walk in. I do the single day touring agreement. The reason why is because I treat that client as if we're going on a first date. The BRBC is a 3-month marriage, right? Nobody wants to be committed right away, and some may be, depending on if your call went really well. But for me, I do the single day touring agreement on the first day I meet with them, is because I want to make sure that I earn that trust, and then the next home tour that I go, if I feel like I've gained that trust, BRBC, bam. But I put myself in the shoe of the consumer, the client that's going to go on the home tour with the realtor. I feel like I'm going to be intimidated to sign something. I barely know this realtor. I just met him, and he wants me to sign a 3-month marriage? What? Right? It wouldn't make sense. So I think, again, it depends on your delivery, your execution. Some people can do it because, hey, you know, by the law of California, real estate attorney in 2024, blah, 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 right? Well, you got to sign this before I show you the home. I kind of want to put my walls down and say, hey, you know what? This is a single day touring agreement. We're not committed to each other, but if it works out, great. If it doesn't, that's okay. I want to make sure that by the end of our tour today, you feel really comfortable. If you have any questions, I'm here for you as a resource, but hopefully we can make this work, all right? And then you can kind of tell based on every home that you show after that, hey, you're building that connection, and then you know that the next time you do see them, you're ready to give that BRBC sign, right? And it's been very helpful for me. There's one time where I did a BRBC at the beginning, and I didn't know the client was like a lawyer, right? And then I'm like, oh, shoot, I messed up because, you know, I was kind of stuttering a little bit. Not only that, she knew that I just met her on that day, and I have not given her enough value. Our call was so short. She was quick to, she was calling me on her lunch break, and by the time I saw her, I'm like, well, I can't really show you the home because and then we didn't even show the home at all. Right? So it's very important that you kind of build that trust, kind of like going back to my students, you know, they're not going to learn from you. They're not going to work with you if you don't listen to them and learn from them. So you kind of want to give yourself, buy more time with them to build that. And then the BRBC, it's going to happen. All right? It's going to happen. But that commitment, it does require some sort of building block. And I've realized it's been very effective for me. But if you have BRBC signs, great. Just keep in mind that just because you have it signed doesn't mean you're going to close on that, right? We can have BRBC signs all day, every day, but the important part is the connection, the relationship that you built, because they're going to ask you eventually, hey, well, I don't want that BRBC anymore. Can we cancel that BRBC? Wouldn't that suck, right? Versus like, hey, you know what? You gave them that space, that little wiggle room to kind of say, hey, you know what? Well, thanks for understanding that we're just touring for this one day to let me learn about you as a realtor, as an agent, and how you can provide me value, so that eventually I can feel like I can trust you. Now, let me go ahead and sign that fine line. Yeah.
I do that same thing too, but I usually do it for a day to 7 days.
Okay.
Because I want you to be able to go back home, talk to
Sure.
your family if you
Yeah.
like it, and this allows me to continue on that conversation.
Definitely.
Without having to sit in this knockout again.
Yeah.
And it gives you the, you know, the trust value, and obviously letting them know you're not trying to trap them.
Right.
I kind of say, you know, most of my contingencies want to make it 30 days.
Yep.
But I also know if you like this property, you're going to have to sign another one anyway. So
Definitely.
I just want to be transparent with you that this is what it is, and this is how it has to be done. It needed to be signed before we get to the
Yep.
deal. And I just noticed this past week that I don't think that we're able to use that single EXP form anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Love that. Yeah, I love that. So he mentioned that he uses a 7-day agreement, right? And say, hey, you know, that way we can continue to show homes. And I think some people also use, hey, at any point it doesn't work out, you can sign this canceler agreement too. Great, just to kind of give them an exit strategy, and that would work as well too. Again, I just kind of focus on what works best for me, but whatever you're doing that works for you and it's been working, keep going. I'm not saying do it the same way as me, but focus on what works best for you and make it your own. Because everybody in here, I don't want you to emulate everything that I do. I want you to kind of find your voice and your gift in the way you execute. And then if that works, just keep that going, right? Because I guarantee you, as long as you build that connection and continue to grow that relationship, it's gonna work out. All right, cool. I think that's it. You guys got this. Let's go. All right.
Questions?
Any questions?
Good job, bro.
We didn't answer everything, and we're like, we don't need to talk about it. You might just have.
Yeah, awesome. Well, hey, oh yeah, question.
Do you have the same social media strategy as Erik? What is yours?
Oh, my strategy?
It's probably better.
Honestly, it's you're just gonna have to learn as you go. I think when I follow other realtors that, what I always, again, going back, put myself in the hat of a client if they're looking to purchase, and how do you build that trust through social media? You don't want to just keep posting about homes all the time. keep it personal, right? If you really love to do other things, like you have a life outside of real estate, right? If you love to go for a walk, hiking, you know, you have family, like some people don't want to put too much on family and kind of keep it like at a distance, but let them get to know you too, because you have a life outside of real estate, and the more that they can relate onto that, the next time they see you, you're like, oh shoot, I saw the other day you were posting that you went rock climbing. I also rock climb too, right? So I post a lot of stuff, like my wife and I, we were in our baby moon in Maui, so I'll post our trip, right? Kind of keep them engaged, and I'll put polls and questions like, hey, any recs for Maui at the beginning of our trip, right? And it's nice to kind of see people being engaged and participating and telling me what they recommend, because they have experience too. So I always want to try to build, I feel like social media should be more of a conversation than a flex. I think there's some realtors out there that will post, just sold, new listing, just signed a BRBC today. It's so boring and dry. Everybody can do that. But you are so unique. Post about like what you love, what you care, how you can like share with people about what you do, your gifts, and serve, and come from a place of not to show off, but a place to serve people, right? And I think for me, the more I post about myself and family and you know what I love to do, and you know, I think it helps people to relate, because they kind of know you without even meeting you yet. And I'm sure a lot of you guys have that, where you follow other people where maybe they're like a celebrity or a keynote speaker, but you feel like you know them because they shared so much about not what they do, but who they are as people. And it's so genuine, so raw, so authentic. So yeah, just stay true to who you are. Yeah.
Both you are on Facebook, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Right? I don't follow you, but I know both of you. Are you guys both on business pages and separate personal, or are you guys on personal?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I noticed yours was, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. Because
No,
I know
yeah,
they stress it for the ad side of it in business, but the business page volume is so low compared to personal.
I get more out of my personal page than I did when I had a business Facebook, so that's why I stuck with it. Yeah.
What about you?
So I know my Instagram, whatever I post on Instagram, it goes to my Facebook. What's crazy is that the Facebook people, I feel like I get more attention is because they're the people that can afford a home. Some people on Instagram, it's like the younger crowd, right? Yeah, so it really, it's crazy. Like 2 of my first deals that I closed were through Facebook messages, and they were friends from college. And they were like, hey, Eric, I noticed that you were doing real estate. I'm actually thinking about purchasing a home. One was like in LA. I'm like, why don't you find a realtor in LA? But I'll kind of like refer you to somebody down there, right? Like, no, Eric, I want to work with you because, you know, we know each other. I'm like, sure, you know, I'll make a trip down one day. We'll look at some homes and then whatnot. So I think Facebook definitely does work too. So try to integrate Instagram and Facebook together. Now you're asking like personal and business. I do have a personal Instagram, but I'm not as active anymore on that one. I'm more active on my family realtor account, because most of the stuff that I would post on my personal, I'm posting on my family realtor. So I'm thinking about eventually deleting that one and just try to bring everybody over to my page, because I think having 2 pages, it's just a lot to kind of, you know, handle. And yeah, so you can kind of clump it to one.
I mean, the personal Facebook page right now is blowing up. I mean, that you just treat that as basically everything you want to put out. Like business page, I would say, is more for running ads.
Yeah.
So the Facebook business page is running ads. Facebook personal is like just, that's you.
Yeah, the accidental post with my child on my business page is what went like viral.
Yeah.
You got to post it all. You can't have 2 different people, because then people start questioning, especially if you have your personal page private. Then they're going to be like, who's this hidden person on the other side of this private page? Is she 2 different people?
Yeah. Cool. That's a great question. Thanks for asking. Any other questions? Okay.
I work with you. Me and Armando work with you too. I think you guys get to your vibe is definitely the vibe.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, and you know what's crazy too is I've had clients who maybe I come off to like, and they're like, nah, right? And that's okay too. I don't get personally offended. I honestly, sometimes we do have to master energy, and that's important, right? I do need to tone it down sometimes, because I don't want them to be like scared of me, or like I'm a little bit too much joyful and happy, and you know. But it's important to kind of master energy, and some people, you can kind of read them as soon as they walk out of the car and whatnot. So I also realize, don't take anything personal if you're new to real estate. There are going to be things and times where you're like, oh shoot, like is something wrong with me? It's going to question your worth. You know, like, did you say something? Sometimes you might say something that you shouldn't have said, and that's okay. You just need to learn from it, use it as a lesson, move forward, and don't let that linger because you could have helped 2 other people that are waiting for you, but you focus so much on that last client that like duped you or flaked on you, that's like a waste of time. So just think about real estate, you know, you just gotta keep moving forward, because we're gonna keep failing. Like Armando and I, we're gonna keep failing for sure. There's no doubt about that. We're gonna get offers rejected so many more times, but that's okay, it's a part of it. You just gotta pick yourself back up, say, hey, we got this. This home was not meant for you, and that's okay. The next home is out there waiting for you. We're gonna make it happen, right? So,
One more question,
yep.
really quick. Specific.
Yeah.
Because both of you, you're in different points of your career, but we're at almost the exact same and
Yeah.
doing so much better, so I gotta get there.
Cool.
And maybe that's EXP. But curious, are you still doing Zillow? Like, are you past that yet?
Yeah.
What if the goal is, in 2 years you don't need to do Zillow? Like,
Sure.
are you guys still doing
Yeah.
Zillow leads? Is it still
All my
funnel?
transactions all my transactions are personal.
Yeah, that's cool. I think what's great about this team too is I'm so grateful for Bill, Daisy, Drew, and the team, because they're already fighting half the battle for us. They're giving us leads. Zillow, Movoto, Ojo, or whoever's in the pond, right? I think getting the appointment is like half the battle, right? Because some people are in the box cold calling like, oh shoot, when am I ever gonna meet somebody face to face? And I was struggling with that for 6 months, because at the time, I mean, I'm not gonna point fingers, rates were high, but you know, I wasn't seeing, so I would like work so hard. I'm like, hey, Bill, I think I'm ready to be on Zillow. Put me on. You know, I'm ready, coach. And then he did. And with that trust, even if I didn't close anything beforehand, I was ready to, I think there was a message that he put on our Slack, like, hey, we got so many opportunities coming in. Nobody's taking it. And I was like, hey, I'm ready to take it. I haven't closed anything in Bill, but I'm ready. And because he trusted in me and I was hungry for it, I was like, you know what? I'm going to take whatever I can and make the most out of it. So, to answer your question too about like at what point too, like do you not need it? I think you'll probably understand once you start getting like a more referral based business, because I think that's something I'm working towards too. Chelsea, she's been on this team for a while, and I kind of sat down and got to know her. Like most of her business comes from like personal leads referral, because of the Zillow leads that she got from the beginning, the open houses, the Movotos, and it's because she was able to get connected with those people, and they eventually like kept her on top of mind, that she stepped away from Zillow and like, hey, you know what, all this personal stuff, we can have a little, more of a connection. I think the splits were higher too at the time. So, but again, don't focus on splits or commission, just focus on serving. Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's just adding to the pipeline.
Yeah.
I mean, I see this so much where it's like, I only want to work personal sphere,
Yeah.
friends and family, like you're only going to squeeze that as much as you can,
Yeah.
and there's only so much you're going to get out of it. And you're only going to keep hitting that cap every year. If you want to do more, you got to bring in, you have to have multiple lead sources, just like multiple streams of income. Like, you can't rely on just one income. You got to rely on different things in case, let's say this month, nobody sent you a referral that closed, but you got this lead source over here that fed you something.
Yeah.
And so it just keeps it consistent without the non-consistency, if that makes sense.
It does suck up front, you gotta pay, referral fees and everything like that, but the backside of it is there's gonna be referral.
Yeah.
Obviously, it is a 2-deal partnership with Zillow after the fact, 2 years down the line, but I've gotten people that I got from Zillow 3-4 years ago and now coming around wanting to sell and buy.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of agents mess up there.
Yeah.
Tremendously, just like Bill said, you could be at 12 forever, but then getting some of those Zillow leads, you put in 6, now you're at 18. You still get the transaction, you still get the volume from it. So us as realtors, those are like our superpowers, right? The transactions and your volume. So don't ever miss up business by not taking it because it's a little extra money. I personally feel that, the whole business is tremendously greedy. So I mean, at the end of the day, your duty is to help that person that comes through. So always look at it as a positive way.
For sure.
And then you mentioned something right now about the rates. I would like to know real quick from both of you guys, like you've been tapped on it right here. People always talk about your scripts and what you have ongoing, but what do you do for the rebuttals for that conversation about higher rates or this and that? Could you elaborate?
Yeah, for sure. I love those objections too. We're like, hey, Eric, I'm not ready to buy yet because the rates are high. I'm like, hey, I totally understand. I try to acknowledge what their objection is. Hey, sorry, what was your name? Otis. Hey, Otis, I totally understand. Rates are super high right now. You know what's great about rates though is that they're not forever. They're temporary. They're gonna fluctuate. They can change. And what you can do is, if you know this is the right home for you, and the monthly mortgage makes sense, you can always refinance, right? I'm gonna make sure that I connect you with one of my lenders. He's gonna cover all those refinance costs and all that when the time comes. But if that home makes sense for you, what's great is that you're at a time where there's less competition because everybody's thinking the same way that you are, because rates are so high, right? But again, if we just focus on that monthly payment, you're gonna be okay because that's gonna be your threshold. The rates are gonna change. When you refinance, guess what? Your monthly payment's gonna be even less. Now, let's say rates do drop. Everybody's ready to buy. Guess what? More competition, right? Now we're gonna have to play that bidding war, and that home that you really liked, it's not gonna be there for you anymore because now we're gonna have to step up our game, and our pre-approval is set to this number, right? But now we have to kind of go down a little bit more, look at homes maybe 100,000 below, because in this market, everybody's pricing not transparent, but it's overbidding, right? So we wanna be able to kind of pick our battles. And again, I don't wanna pressure you to purchase them. I just wanna make sure that you're comfortable with your monthly payment. So you got this. Hmm?
We're both open books, so
Yeah.
just like anybody here, like whatever you need, like dude, just ask me and they'll give it. Just like he learned from other people, like that's part of the chain. But thank you guys, appreciate you.
Yeah.
The next Masterclass we got Ed. He actually just left, but he closed 9 deals his first year in 6 months, and he's on top right now. So that's gonna be in Solano County. We're gonna be doing that Fairfield office. So see you guys there. Let me know if you guys.
Thanks, you guys.
Good shit, bro.
Of course, man. That was fun.
Good shit, man.